Okay. All right. So as we were just starting to discuss about the first day of the first test, India ended the day with at 2:33 for six. Saha and Ashwin are batting, so the top six batsmen are all back in the hut, as they say. There was some fantastic test bowling, some excellent gritty test batting as well. So it was I mean, at least for me, for a test match lover, I think I got my full paisa vasool. I must say it was a great day to watch. So, Mana, your first thoughts on day one?
Yeah, let's start with it's a great task to win. Um,
Yeah,
India batted very well in patches, and to start off again, this is purely my opinion. As I said, they should not have picked Parthiv Shah
Prithvi Shaw,
because he was not informed to begin with, even in IPL, and even here he was kind of sporadic. So again, he should have put maybe Shubman Gill. If not, probably they should have played Rahul to open with Mayank because they had already opened in IPL. They knew each other well, and I know it's a 5 day cricket, not a 20 over. But I thought that would have been a little bit better in my opinion. But having said that, uh, you know, he got out to a pretty good ball. I was talking to Vinay yesterday, and after he got bored, I knew he was. The reason was, you guys can go back and watch. Technically, the bat came from probably a third slip. It should come from either first slip or probably from the wicket keeper when you're batting for brand new ball with that wicket, fresh wicket, and Michael Stark. So he had no chance. The pace and
yeah.
they beat him pretty comprehensively, and technically it was pretty poor at best. So
ನೀವು ಆ
um,
ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಕಿ ಪಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ
yeah.
he said exactly the same thing just
Oh,
after the first ball.
oh, really?
And he
Uh-huh.
said, because I mean, he was coaching him at Delhi as well, Allah. And,
Uh,
the only one chink in the armor I could see, he leaves a gap between bat and ball, and he's a bit slow in bringing down the
correct.
high lift and tanda, and the bowlers need to take advantage of that. And the very next ball,
Boom. Yeah, that's what I thought because the backlift was very high. Okay, at
yeah,
least if it is high, I get it. Sometimes you can bring the bat quicker, but when it comes from third slip, the angle of the bat really the ball will definitely miss because it's not in line with the ball at all. So that's probably a basic technique that he missed out. And then you know what? Then the second thing, I think Vinay disagrees with me, and I'm sure you will disagree with me. Chetesh with Pujara gave them the opportunity to bowl beautifully, better than what they would normally bowl. He really went into the shell from the first ball, and he could have been out maybe 5, 6, 7 times because either he hit the ball, it didn't carry, and he hit the ball, it they didn't catch. He hit the ball, the catch went a little further away. Uh,
yeah,
Everything happened. He could have been out 5, 6 times. So when you look at it, when the short leg on catch bita, the Mayank Agarwal, not him, but
yeah.
they left. And deep fine leg gully, I think Josh was short again. Then first Lipo wicket keeper in between, and it was fell short, and he missed quite a bit. And 80 balls, 15 runs doesn't give confidence for the batsman coming in or the batsman playing on the other side. So Mayank
Actually,
played extremely.
ಅದೇ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಇವಾಗ the two topics that you just touched upon.
Uh,
Those are the first two questions in the quiz that Vinod is about to
oh,
share
okay,
the screen.
okay. Do you want to bring it up now and come
Sure,
start
yeah, yeah,
that?
Vinod, go ahead.
Yeah, why don't we tag it together?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if people are joining as well. So I don't see the Facebook post. If I'm just seeing if people want to join the poll. So let's share the screen and get started. Let's give some time for people to join.
So the first one, as we can see,
Hey, folks, see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
So
announcement has been made in WhatsApp as well as on Facebook. So as
okay.
they are joining, you guys can continue. You got answer Madi, Pradike, and then yeah.
Yeah.
First of all,
So
I mean, like you were saying, Somana, yes, Prithvi had that, flaw, but I think the basic question first is, did he deserve to be in the team as an opener?
Right.
And so, these are the choices you can see. Yes, he deserves to be given a chance and see if he fails, because he did okay in the previous test. He opened in New Zealand. He's young. He will learn and be a great opener moving forward. He's not in a
mhm.
good or he's not in a good mental space. Should have been dropped. Or this is all Mumbai lobby.
So you can rate your opinion on the scale of 1 to 4 or whatever it is in that. You can just say for each of the options, where do you put the rating as?
One being what?
Uh, just those options that are there, right? It's a scale for each of them. One being like, you totally agree or don't agree. It is there in that list.
Oh,
You can-
okay.
Yeah.
I don't see that option in my screen. That's why. So,
Yeah.
No, did you open the link?
He has to open the link.
oh, you know what? Where is the link here? Hold on.
Zoom only, comment only then.
Or you can open a little bit. Yeah, it's if you have two devices, it's better. I think that's a challenge here. You can't do it.
I know that's why. I didn't have. Yeah, you guys go ahead. I'll talk about it. Yeah, let's go. Look,
And for those on the radio, maybe read out the questions. And those who are listening on the radio, if you want to answer, just shoot a direct message to me or Kashyap, both of us.
Yeah, the main question was, should Prithvi Shah been retained as the opener? Because, as if many of you remember, Mayank and Prithvi Shah were the first choice openers in the previous series.
look, you're right. There are two ways to look at it. They kept Joe Burns because he played well in the past innings. Okay, on that rationale, he should come in. But Joe Burns played for 2 or 3 matches he failed, but Prithvi was dropped from the IPL. Obviously lack of confidence to start off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is also, even the previous innings that I saw him bat, he got like 30 or 40 quick runs, and just kind of hit it. But there was
never in
I think
control.
it was not a convincing 30 or 40 that you should see from an opening batsman.
Right.
So that's what I thought. Having said that, no, they shouldn't have retained him.
Yeah.
Not with that attack, and not with the pink ball, not in Adelaide. Day and night.
I'll just add a couple points to that. The other thing is that, one, like his past test performance and stuff like that too was abysmal, right? So already he had, past to talk for. Then not only he failed in IPL, but some naysayers may say, look, he's not a limited overs player. He's actually a red ball player, similar to how they would argue for Mohammad Siraj as like a bowler. He's a red ball bowler, not a white ball bowler. So don't judge him on those merits. Judge him in a test match setting. Then he goes and he plays in these warm-up matches, and we already saw that he didn't perform, but Shubman Gill did. So I agree that he should not have been retained, but I just want to also point out for the naysayers that say, he is a red ball player. I mean, there's still argument to be made that he still should not be retained because of his past performance, his warm-up, and Gill's performance, etc. So it's not just I don't want to chalk it up to he didn't do well in IPL and it's a shallow opinion. It's deeper than that, Yeah,
I think for me, more than red ball or white ball, you could see that he's not in a good space now. Right? I mean that's why you can see. I mean, and on the other side of the spectrum is KL Rahul. Yes, I mean he was dropped from test team because he was failing in tests. But now, for the past few months, including IPL and the white ball series in Australia, I mean, he did pretty good, and he's in a good space. So, and yes, Mayank has been doing well as well. So I mean, there was no question about Mayank. But Prithvi, I don't know. I mean, if he was a left-hander and you still feel like, maybe right and left, yes. But I mean, if you are all right-handers, might as well go with Gill or even KL Rahul for that matter.
Look, the only reason I brought up T20 was it's the confidence in your head is what I'm talking about. Not the T20 or test. I get it, but the confidence is not there when he's batting because, first of all, not only he did not relatively poorly in my opinion, he got some good runs there, but and he was dropped. Once you're dropped, for performance, then it sits on your head. So that is my concern about him. Is the head in the right place where it's supposed to be on a 5-day test against Australia in Australia and a day and night test? These are all the things that I'm thinking about. So, and also, as I said, technically, look at the bat in the picture. It's a third slip.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be close to his vest actually. So I think I've said enough. So go ahead and if somebody has a comment on that.
I think it's pretty unanimous that Prithvi Shaw shouldn't have been picked. And similarly, the next question was
wait. Let's finish the answers to the questions here, right? Let's get the answer.
Look at the breakout.
Right.
Yeah, so let's look at the breakout. Give me a minute. So, am I sharing my screen? Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
Yep.
Right. So let me pause my screen. And
Vinny, is it possible to play that shot that he played?
No way.
Okay.
I mean, that's not the shot you play in the first. Yeah. So here is the results that I'm seeing that people have voted. So how do you interpret this result? So if you look at the blue one, yes, he deserves to get a chance. That's what some people have told here. That's the highest number of people. They disagree that he deserves to get a chance. So they really disagree. That's why the people are saying. Technically, people have agreed to the fact that he's not in a good mental space and should be dropped, right? And some people have been nice to him among the 5 people who voted. They're saying, but good thing is we are a very, true cricket-loving group that nobody voted for. It's a Mumbai's lobby. They all decided on that. So it's all about Prithvi Shaw, genuinely. So I think
that's good.
That's good. I think
that's a good one. I like it, Vinny. Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is a trial run. We'll start it on the first show like this, and then we'll guide our conversations with these quizzes so more people will participate and we can keep it interactive.
That'll be good. That probably brings a lot more interest into the people who's listening and watching.
Yeah. So let's see. There is one person who's agrees that it's Mumbai lobby. I know who it is. I think I know who it is. But yeah. But I think people have been nice to him as well. He's young. He will be able to learn. That's true. And I think there are 2 disjoint situations. One is about, yes, he should not be picked for this test, but he will learn. He's young, right? He'll come back.
Right. Oh, he's still a long way to go. Absolutely, yes. There's no question about it.
So more than a testimony of the skill set Prithvi Shaw presents, I think it is a representation of how true cricket fans we are. So we have kind of mentally broken this down into 2 pieces. He doesn't deserve to be in this test, but you know what? He will. He'll grow. He'll become one of the better players later on.
Yeah, that's why I lean towards both yellow and green. I mean, right now he should not have been picked, but I wouldn't say he should never play for India.
Correct.
But I mean, is he the best opener? I don't know. I mean, even in his full flow, is he the best choice? I personally don't know, but he can be considered. There are quite a few options now. So, but yeah,
two good scores will change everything. That's what
who knows? Maybe he has a rare guard innings in the second innings.
Yeah,
maybe.
And let's be fair that he has had a good test record before. He has 100 and a couple of 50s, right?
Yeah, he got 100 in his debut. So when Rohit Sharma got injured, he got a nice opportunity to open with Mayank in New Zealand. But I mean, New Zealand was it was a bummer. India never crossed 250 in 4 innings. We lost 2-0. So you can't really blame on one person. Nobody really scored well. So I think that was also considered and said, okay, let's not blame it on Prithvi for that series loss. Let's give him another chance. So maybe that, but yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the next question. Did India bat too slowly on day 1?
Oh boy.
Was India very slow? The options are, where is it?
The options are,
Wait, I don't see.
they did the right thing. They were too cautious. So the options are, they did the right thing on a scale of 1 to 4. They were too cautious, might cost the game. they respected the bowlers too much. We really missed Sehwag kind of player. So these are the 4 options. So rated them on 1 to scale of 1 to 4.
So I,
I would not. I'm going to rule out both 1 and 4. I think it's 2 and 3. The reason is, they really batted very slowly. That gave the bowler definitely an upper hand because the when you look, I was talking to Vinay this morning. You know what the fielding was? 3 sips and a gully, okay, and a short point. Not even it's almost not even a point, okay. Then an extra cover and a short mid wicket, okay. It's not even Then there was a deep fine leg. Imagine you could be even a miss hit will carry over the slip cordon or an extra cover or a short mid wicket. So I think Pujara played a way too defensive, way too slowly. Obviously, the bowling was good. There's no question about it. But they did not bowl. They just bowled a little short, a wee bit short. They were not short, but Hazelwood bowled quite a bit short sometimes. Stark did not bowl. I think they should have forced themselves for if not hitting, rotation of strike would have done a lot of good to the team. They did not do that. What happened was the fielders were right there. I mean, how many at 15th over, 17th over they had a like a short leg and a leg slip or a wide leg slip, whatever you want to call that. It was there. That was kind of, do you have it on the 15th, 16th, 17th over?
Yeah, I think it's also, you can see, including Rahane, Kohli and Pujara, one good thing they were doing was, they were playing with very soft hands, so it didn't really fly or, the edges didn't really, carry. But then I think they also, they gave too much importance to that bounce and the pitch, which wasn't really there. It wasn't that bouncy at all. And you can see, and ಇವಾಗ ಅವ್ನು ಕೊಹ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸತಿ he tried for those cheeky singles, but then with Pujara it's never possible because he has more than one, I think 2 or 3 knee surgeries, and he never risks singles anyway, and so he might as well just stay, and he's happy to just he's happy with 0 or 4. And he's never a 1 and 2 guy.
See, Angan, but then the problem, what happens is you will not get a 4 because yesterday they could have gotten a ton of 4s because the field setting was completely different. He didn't hit. He didn't really try to hit. Exactly. Forget about it. So that's one thing.
If Prithvi Shaw had survived, you could have seen a lot more boundaries actually.
That's what I mean. If he had survived, he would have probably taken some chance. This nailed it. This probably killed it by Prithvi Shaw getting out and see him coming on the 3rd ball of the innings. It killed anything that could possibly do.
So I have a slight. So if you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
So I think we've finished the voting. So let's see what the voting is, and I'll have my opinion on it as well after that. So looks like people definitely overall don't agree so much on they respected the bowler a lot, right? It's either in the 3 or 1, right? Definitely everybody believes they were too cautious. It might cost them the game, and I mean this is I would say not conclusive. They did the right thing, and I think people also agree that we really missed Sehwag kind of player. So I think this is aligned with what you guys are saying. If Prithvi Shaw would have stayed there, he would have been one of those Sehwags kind of scoring.
Correct.
Probably you would have done it, right? So my theory here is that if it is not a day-night game, Adelaide is pretty much a paradise on the later half of 2nd day, 3rd day, and 4th day, right? So you definitely do not want to create a situation where one of the team only bats once, because typically the red ball game, the pink ball game doesn't last the 5 days. It's never lasted 5 days before consistently, right? So it's already a short. It yields a result very soon. That happens. And the next thing is, if you put a team in an advantage, an opportunity to bat only once in the innings, you're already on the back foot. You're on the back foot, back foot. So I think the typical approach they take was in this ball is that we go we start scoring from the third session or the early half of the third session, or the later half of the second session, you start scoring. That's how they plan it. But what backfired was that we were in a situation where that one player to give momentum to the innings was not there. At the end of the day, you were trying to get runs through cheeky singles. That is like absolutely no for a test match, right?
No, that's not the format.
Yeah.
So and the run out killed us because there was no single to begin with.
I think more than Prithvi Shaw getting out, the run out killed us. I think
run out killed us. Run out is the one. That's what I said. Run out killed the entire thing. I mean, he was batting beautifully.
On the flip side, right? You're at 233 at this point, right? If the bowlers and Saha and Ashwin together even add up a close of 100 runs right now, right? The whole scenario changes a bit, right?
Yes.
Because you buy some time. So if we get another 100 runs, our response to this quiz might change, because what they did on the first day to buy the time becomes valuable now.
Valuable now.
Valuable now. So it's that's the uniqueness of test match, right? It's not about runs alone; it's about the time as well.
Right.
Yeah. Let me throw you a curve on that, Vinny and everybody else. Assuming they're going to get another 100 plus, let's assume for a minute, they come close to 330. Let's assume for a quick second. That means the wicket has eased quite a bit. Do you agree with me so far?
I think it's more than the wicket. It's the seam of the pink ball on this dry wicket.
No. Okay, whatever. Yeah, seam and so the same thing.
Wicket has eased on a Kesomo. I don't believe that it was playing.
No. What I mean,
anyway.
Correct. No. Okay, maybe I
ease agakke, it's not really a dangerous.
Let me confirm one thing that Soma asked. Is the wicket doing something? Yes, it is doing something strange, because if you look at Mayank Agarwal's getting bowled, and Kohli's almost a nick on down the leg side, which he has not called out. They were all trajectories that were not anticipated. And then just after that, missing that ball, the last over of the ball, he got beaten on the offside, right? So let's be very clear. Kohli is playing to protect his off stump, right? He is not going to drive anything outside the off stump.
Yes.
And he's very clear about it. And based on the wickets he has lost. But even he couldn't judge the off stump on a couple of balls. So I think there are a few times the wicket is acting up.
So on that note, Vinod, actually those two deliveries are not really a typical fresh day one kind of deliveries. So if at all, you should actually be expecting more of these kind of deliveries moving, forward in this test. Actually,
the second ball,
in a sudden bounce or too much swing, then you can say, okay, that might ease. But if it's this kind of a spitting turn or a it can actually you might actually end up seeing more than 2 deliveries every day.
But do you know that in the modern cricket now, at least in the last 5-6 years, right, it's not the viciously turning or viciously swinging ball that hurts the people. The one that moves the slightest. Yeah. It's those days have gone when that vicious swing squares the batsman and all this stuff.
That's true.
Let me recalibrate what I said. What I meant to say is, of course, the wicket is one part of it. When the ball becomes a little older, it does very, very little on this wicket. Okay. Having said that, if 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 can score, add another 100, 120, whatever you're talking about, that means wicket is doing nothing, and the ball, when it's gotten old, it's a lot easier to play to that. And if they can protect their wicket for the first 15, 20 overs, assuming, then they can get a bigger score as well. And also they score much faster than us, what we have done. So the odds are they might even score 350, 400 runs.
Yeah.
So just to summarize,
I think it's okay. I mean, even if you concede 50, even 80 runs first innings lead, you can still come back in Adelaide, especially Adelaide, because just like Vinod was saying, in Adelaide, things start moving very fast on day 4 and 5.
Rapidly, yeah.
First 3 days can be, there are so many tests in Adelaide where it's like 400 plus and 500 from both the teams in first innings. and then on day 4 and day 5, it's like 400 for 20 wickets.
Yeah.
So
So just to close this, for the benefit of the people who are on the radio, we had a question that did India bat too slowly on day 1? We opted for 4 options. They did the right thing. They were too cautious, and this might cost us the game. They respected the bowlers a lot, or we really missed an attacking batsman. Overwhelmingly, the vote is around we really missed an attacking batsman, and then they were too cautious, and this might cost the game. So I think we all agree this, but also we ended this conversation with a ray of hope that the remaining 4 wickets, if they are able to add another 100 runs, the story changes.
Can I just add one more thing to that? I mean, and I want to get you guys' thoughts, because the conversation between me and my dad is interesting because it's evolved over time, right? To set the stage, I've been a Pujara fan since he came onto the circuit, right? He had 7,000 domestic runs 10 years ago. He's amazing, and I love that he's a pure test batsman. He's not flamboyant like all these other IPL players. So I've been a fan of his, and he has the records to back up whatever, right? So I know there was comments by Kumble and stuff like that 4 or 5 years ago that a strike rate is too little, blah, 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 whatever, right? I get that there's that sentiment, but I always make the argument you need someone like that on your side, and you need for him to be like the linchpin so everyone else can score fluently around him, etc. So let's come back to this test here, right? I think the question can be a little bit more nuanced too, because it's very important to respect the bowlers in the beginning sessions. And for poor Pujara, he was basically an opener this test, right? He came in the first over after Shah's failure. So he did respect the bowlers well. But it's nuanced in the sense that if you saw, he was never settled in when he played. His 40-odd runs were very ugly to watch and kind of painful to watch. But I was talking to my dad about this too. You need to respect the bowlers in the beginning, but you have to take advantage of that time in between. And I don't think we did that. That's the thing, right? Because you have that time when you blunt the ball at 15, 20 overs up until, or 30 overs, up until the new ball is taken, and then the night, the twilight comes, and then, maybe climate changes and stuff. That's where they didn't accelerate. And I don't want to blame it just on Pujara, but I want to get your guys' thoughts, because I would hope that, it's Pujara should and could be able to play the way he played. Other batsmen around him should do their part, right? And they should score fluently, or they should complement.
So
Pujara did nothing special. I mean, nothing worse than what he has been doing. I mean, just 2 years ago, when India won the series for the first time ever, Pujara was the Superman, and and nothing changed. I mean, he batted just like that, but I mean, he would encash it a little bit later.
Yeah,
because the Kohlis and Rahanes were actually giving that solidity as well once in a while. But this time, seeing Kohli and Mayank also going into that shell kind of, I think, exposed Pujara.
It exposed him, exactly. And I don't want that to be on him. I want it to be on the other batsmen too.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I want to make sure.
So I just want to add that's why the question was, did India bat too slowly and not Pujara alone, right?
Yeah,
So one of the aspects that I want to point out is that Pujara is there to do a job. But what I missed there was that the chemistry. What happens is that when you had a Lakshman or somebody bat, right? Lakshman and everybody had their limitations in Adelaide and stuff. But I've heard very clearly Lakshman and Dravid and say, hey, you take this bowler, I will protect you from this bowler, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, keep Kohli away from Cummins, keep Mayank away from Stark, keep them away, but give them that over where they hit, right? Like what happened was Kohli didn't protect Pujara from Nathan Lyon.
Right.
Nathan Lyon and gang had a clear plan for Pujara. They wanted the fielder to be right on his face, right? So that chemistry is what I didn't see. If that was there, what you do is simple. If that chemistry was there, I would take a single and put the best batsman for that bowler, right? Then what happens? Automatically par over, somehow you get a single, the score is moving, and people are moving and we're not stagnating. But what's happening here is that Pujara is holding one end for 6 balls, 7, we are going 32 balls without a run and stuff. And the field was not set as if you can't penetrate it.
Exactly.
Right. That's exactly what I spoke to Vinay about this evening, this afternoon. He was playing 5 balls in a row and get a single, then he goes to the other end, then everything is done.
Yeah.
And, I think the whole approach was a little timid, to say the least. But again, for us sitting here, quarterback sitting the following day telling what to do is a different than playing dead.
Is it also because did Virat Kohli did he get overly cautious and got did he take up too much responsibility upon himself.
Let's ask a different question. Kashyap, we'll get an answer to your question. Different question. Let's ask ourselves. For a day-night test on a pink ball in Adelaide, after winning the toss, what score did we have for the first day in our minds? And I personally feel they were 60 runs short. That's all I think. What do you guys think?
For me, it was 250 for 4. If it was,
I would be 300 for 6 instead of 230 for 6.
Okay, I was 60
for 4. I would have been very happy with 250 for 4.
I would have been happy with 250 for 4 also. I was thinking 250.
Yeah,
I think we were on course for that. Like
we
190 for 3 was amazing. And then, you could have assumed that, it would have been, 250, 260 for maybe, they will lose.
So we are 60 among ourselves. We agree that we are 60 runs and 2 wickets this side to that side, right? So, and the good thing is today they can salvage it. It's not in a bad state. It can be.
Again,
it can be
I always
salvaged.
say, and I'm not the first one to say it. Let's wait till the other team bats. It's the common cliche that comes up when you cannot be overly joyous or too critical of the first innings sometimes. Maybe India gets all out for 260 and Australia also gets all out for 280. Then fair enough. Or maybe 120. Who knows? Bumrah has his day. You never know. But you never know. They can end, Australia can end second day today with 200 for 2. I don't know. So
okay, let's go to the next question then.
Next question. Let's go. So speaking, we're still focusing on India and the batting and the Prithvi Shahs and the other openers. Who should open for India in the next test? Do we continue with Mayank and Shah? Mayank and Gill? Do you also want to replace Mayank? Do you want to bring back KL Rahul? Or there's a slightly left field option of just go with Ashwin and Vihari?
Oh my goodness. Okay. That's a no. Let's start with that.
I know. Yeah.
It was just to make sure that people are reading all the options.
Yeah.
While they're answering, I'll add what Vinod said when he said we can salvage it today. I think we also sort of salvaged it in the last session yesterday too, because despite the wickets, right? I remember going to sleep at tea around 1 o'clock or whatever it was, and we only had 107 runs on the board, and we ended up with 230. So to score 120 runs in that last session, that really helped. Despite the wickets, let's forget about that.
I think that second session was the culprit for me.
100%.
First session 40 for 2. First match of the series. In a day-night match, that's okay. Could have been a little better, but that's still okay. And the last session, 120 for 3. I'll take that.
I'll take it too.
Maybe a wicket less, but that's okay. But in the middle session, going 60 for no loss was the big problem. I think that was.
And also, mind you, Virat is batting.
Yeah, exactly. With Virat and then Pujara and 60 for 1 in the middle session. That's where I think we lost the.
Should have been around like 100
what could have been a great day became a mediocre day. I mean, now I think it's even Stevens. No team can claim huge advantage at the end of day 1. But again, we have to wait till the 20th wicket falls and see where we are.
Right.
All right. What's the result, Vinod?
I will go with Mayank and Rahul because Kohli is not playing. We have to bring in Rahul. There's no point in playing Prithvi. Again, I would.
Is Kohli not playing the next test?
No. So, will you get Gill for Kohli then?
Yeah. So let me summarize the result and then we'll go with each.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay?
Let's see what.
Yeah. So the results are showing up like this, right? So definitely Shah and Gill is more no way than Ashwin and Vihari.
Really?
Oh my God.
So
Shah. Do you have the chart?
Pardon?
Do you have the chart?
Yeah. Yes.
You're still seeing the question. Okay.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, oh my goodness.
So I think the bigger one was trending towards Rahul and.
Oh wait! Nobody even voted for Ashwin and Vihari.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's one. Okay.
Yeah, there's one.
I would. Mine was, as I said, Rahul and Mayank. So.
Rahul and Mayank, and then Rahul and Gill has a higher score on an average, right? It's like people who have told them, they've confidently told it. There's this one that's pulling it down. Like some people said no for Rahul and Gill. So Rahul and Mayank, like overall, from the middle to the high, people are saying it. Interesting, Mayank and Gill is the next one. And so if I go by order, it's Rahul and Mayank, Rahul and Gill, Mayank and Gill.
Wow.
That would be my choice. I would go with Mayank and Gill and have Rahul at 5. Rahane 4, Rahul 5, or whatever, 4 and 5. It doesn't matter. I think Rahul, among the three, I think Rahul is better. Rahul is probably the better middle order than Mayank and Gill.
No, Rahul is expensive to lose up front.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's another backdoor excuse for having him in the middle order. But I'll take it. I think.
Yeah,
Gill,
but I don't know whether you remember. He got a beautiful 149 at Oval opening. In the world innings.
Yeah, he did. I mean, even in his debut series, in his very second test in Sydney, he got a nice 80, I think, or no, not 100, right? 80. So I mean, he is an opener. He's a career opener, but.
Right.
With this choice, because there is one forced selection you have to make, because of Kohli's exit.
Mhm.
So now the next question will be, what will you do with Prithvi, right? I don't think they're going to change Mayank, especially with Kohli also going out. There are not too many opener. I mean, there's no middle order bat at all. So there's only Kohli and Rahul and Gill sitting out until Rohit Sharma comes back in the third test. So that's another option, when Rohit comes, we'll talk about it again in a week or two, but
so
for now,
Kashyap, can you make it like a tile view so that it's not always when others are speaking, it's not.
What do you mean?
So because I'm presenting, that's why you guys are like, I don't see the others, so it's only the speaker focus.
Okay.
Yeah. I was hoping that, at least we can have the list of people speaking on the side.
Right.
So, anyway, okay, let's go next one. So shall we go to the next question?
Yes.
Okay. So let's show the image here. This is, take your time to type it. You'll have to type 3 words that you think when you think about Oval. So just spend your time, type 3 words.
Adelaide Oval.
Adelaide Oval. So here's the Adelaide Oval. So just go ahead and type 3 words that comes to your mind when you think about Adelaide Oval. It's a beautiful place, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous place.
Hogidra ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, Adelaide ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. You know what? Let's make a pact. I mean, off the record, obviously. 4 of us should go one day and night in Adelaide at some point in time in the next few years.
Yeah. Next year ಈ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆಶಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲ?
Yeah.
Adelaide Oval.
Okay, take your time and submit it, guys. More.
Is this the place where Phil Hughes got hit? Was that Adelaide?
That I don't know.
Good question.
I think it was Sydney. No, sorry. Yeah, that was Sydney. Sean Abbott's bouncer. All right. 20 more minutes for day 2. But I must say, with so many different parameters for this one test, like pink ball, the day night, there's this twilight thing that they were talking about. It's extremely tough to bat just around sunset time when the lights come on. Warner is out, Kohli is in, but Kohli is out after this match. I have a feeling this one test is a series in itself, and then the next three tests can be considered like just a 3-match series. This one is it's a bit unfair to actually add this into the other three tests and say this is a 4-match series, because I think what happens in this test may not have any bearing on the next 3 tests.
True. I mean, I'll reveal my answer from the last question. I'm a big KL Rahul fan, obviously, and so I will vote for him to open anytime. Not even just open, be in the 11, no
11,
matter what.
absolutely.
I selfishly am glad he's not in this test at the risk he fails, and also whatever position he bats in, I don't care if he opens or if he's number 5. I just want the position he's going to do well in, because I don't want him dropped the second time.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Straight drives, Kohli, Rahul Dravid. What happened?
Oh, 1 sec.
Oh yeah. Never forget Rahul Dravid's double century.
233, right?
Yeah. Adelaide 2004.
Okay. So the words that people have told is, let me resume the screen. There it goes. So the people have told about few things.
The cathedral. You can't see that cathedral anymore, Allah. Tumba elena change magra.
Yes, so that's a very thing. Cathedral end and river end. There are 2 ends for Adelaide. Very strange. There's one's the cathedral, other is the river end.
Exactly.
And I also somehow, I don't know if I'm true or wrong, or I'm true or false here, but somehow in the evenings in Adelaide, I always fear this long shadows of one side of the stand, right, coming till the pitches. I don't know if it's very strong in my memory. It's Adelaide, but I don't know about it. Suddenly, as the day goes, the long shadows that comes in.
It's an Australian thing, I think, because I've seen it many times in Brisbane as well. So you are on mute.
I don't know how I got into mute anyway. The Adelaide is significantly long. Yakentandre, the beauty of Adelaide is it's a very beautiful ground, as you can see that. We are building munche bari pavilion itto. Rest of it was you could sit on that, in Kutiyarla. You could sit like it's a gradient. So there was nothing else there. That's why that was prominent. That Adelaide shadow was very prominent. That's one thing I remember. The second thing is it's Rahul Dravid's 233 and whatever you want to call that.
72 not out.
Yeah, 72 not out.
Yeah.
And as I said, the cathedral was the other thing which we could see it before, because from the cathedral end, if you bowled, not the river and other side, that's what I remember.
So what is about Lyon? Nathan Lyon there.
Nathan Lyon has the highest wickets in Adelaide, and he loves it. He has some amazing average. He has I think he almost has like 70 wickets in Adelaide, something like that.
Yeah, so the one record Nathan Lyon can hold for his life is an Australian off spinner. He's an epic Australian off spinner, right? There's nobody who's close to him, right?
He's third in line after Shane Warne and McGrath. He's third in line in Australia all time.
If you look there is no off spinner at all in that list. If you look at the top bowlers, right?
Not at all.
Australia just doesn't have off spinners.
Yeah, no, they never produced half spinners at all. You're right.
Yeah.
I think probably in 70s or probably Martin and by the off spinner. Pretty.
You know off spinner, Greg Matthews, tight tester.
Yeah, Greg Matthews. Yeah, he's an off spinner, but he played 15 tests at the most.
Yeah. And when it comes to Adelaide and India, one record that I must add is in that test when Rahul Dravid scored double century and we won, Ricky Ponting scored 242 in the first innings.
Correct.
And that still remains the highest individual score in a losing test. So
I didn't know that part.
That's the highest.
So what's about straight drives?
It's a long straight drive. It's very, very hard to actually score boundaries. Like four runs. With straight drive in Adelaide. It's 84 meters or something.
85 or something, I think.
Yeah,
85.
very
I think
long.
you can literally run 4 versus that going
Yeah,
to 4.
they have run 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the benefit of the people listening in the radio, the question was, what is one word you remember when you think of Adelaide Oval? And people have called out straight drives remain prominent. Rahul Dravid is pretty strong. Nathan Lyon, and of course, it's very beautiful. It's known for its long shadows. Kohli, because he's got a lot of runs there.
Yes.
He
And
has 300s from 4 test matches. And even in one day, he already has 200s in Adelaide, including the famous one against Pakistan in 2015 World Cup. So
yeah, I
Kohli
still have.
loves Adelaide. I remember in one of the matches when Kohli again scored 100 and we won. Dhoni mentioned that I think very soon there will be a Virat Kohli stand in Adelaide.
Stand.
Yeah. So the other thing that I was always curious is there is a logic in calling places as grounds versus stadiums, right? So I've told this before as well, because if on the one end, if you see open trees and if you see no stands and stuff, right, it goes in as a ground. So you still had the Melbourne Cricket Ground, Sydney Cricket Ground, but Adelaide was never called Adelaide Cricket Ground. It was always Adelaide Oval, right? Whereas Lords, even the standard, it's called Lords Cricket Ground. So I was thinking, hey, why don't we call this a ground? Because it meets all the criteria for a ground. It has an open
there's
stand.
many oval. Yeah, there are quite a few ovals that are just ovals, right? So it's how do you categorize that? Is that a stadium or a ground, or
I don't know, but
is that a new category like Kensington Oval, the Adelaide Oval, then the Oval in England? And
yeah,
even
I think the
Barbados.
oval is a new term that people are using everywhere. What I don't know, but traditionally, the groundsmen used to say when you call it a ground, you don't have it completely covered by stands. You have opening areas where you can see trees and breeze coming through.
Maybe like probably in the past, it was used oval because the ground used to be the oval shape, not literally round. It's always oval.
Adelaide is oval shaped.
Right behind the wickets, it was longer, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
So that's why it was the oval name came into.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, straight drives are so long and the square boundaries are shorter because it's in oval shape. And I'm pretty sure any cricket ground or any other ground for that matter, which is called oval, is in oval shape. Oval is not just a term, but back to Vinod's question. I don't know if these ovals are grounds or stadiums, or maybe it doesn't matter. All right. So on that note on Kohli and Adelaide, I wanted to ask, what makes a certain player tick in one ground like that? Like Azhar in Kolkata. Sachin in Chennai. What happens there? I mean, I know there are multiple pitches, right? I mean, it's not just one pitch. So every ground has so many pitches, and I'm sure it's not like Sachin played on the same pitch in Chennai all the time.
You know what? Let me add one more thing. Not necessarily.
How psychological?
You may be right. You may be right. That's one part of it, maybe, because the Sachin played, or anybody who plays there, they are 99 times of 100. They play in the center pitch. They don't use the side pitches. They keep it center 99 times of 100.
Okay.
So obviously that behaves a certain way. It doesn't mean they can score runs. So that's not the point.
Yeah.
So that behaves a certain way over the years. That's one thing that I have noticed. Because the test they don't use other pitches at all, because game but they use the center pitch for test cricket, period. Or
bowlers, Kumble in Firozshah Kotla, Delhi.
Yeah.
Glenn McGrath in Lords. Man, he would carry that pitch everywhere if he could. And just like Nathan Lyon in Adelaide. So I mean, Virat Kohli and Nathan Lyon are the two best players on Adelaide Oval. So let's see. We still have another innings of Kohli. So anyway, all right. So on that note, before
by the way, I just figured out one interesting fact that in those days when the grounds were built, people had to buy land for the ground, and lands are sold in rectangle plots. But cricket required a different shape. because the batsman has focus. So the way you buy lands has to be the next alternative for rectangle was ovals. So you buy a rectangle and then you buy two halves of the land and then you build. So like for example, Kingston Oval was built from cabbage farms, and also traditionally the Australian football rules is all bound by all the oval shapes, including rugby and stuff, and these stadiums are used for rugby as well. So traditionally that has been the contribution to why the oval term started. So it's a tradition. It's multiple rules that are applied in two kinds of games. And the third thing is the way you buy a land to build a cricket stadium, which is round, right? You don't buy a rectangular land. More than a stadium, it's the ground, right? For the ground, you buy it. And then if you have an oval shape, at least three sides have the same length and boundary when you play. So you get at least, if you align the pitches and the shape of the ground, you get equal length of grounds before when the ropes were not there. Now the ropes are there to make up for it.
3 sides. 3 or 2?
3. I think they said 3 or 2, yeah. So typically when an oval shaped ground, what happens is only with the batsman facing the front batting gets a shorter boundary. Adelaide is right opposite. It gets a longer boundary.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So interesting fact. We learned something today.
Yes. Thank you, Vinod.
Thank you, Ma.
Yeah. So next, Nandita, was there one more question after this?
One more question. Rank the players.
This is more like
order of Test 100 in Australia.
This is more like a quiz. Again, we are focusing on India, of course, in Australia. So which player has scored the most Test 100s in Australia? And if you guys can rank them accordingly, then we have some interesting tidbits after that. Yeah. Okay. So the choices are those who are in radio. If you want to message or at least think about it or reminisce about some of the great hundreds that you might have watched, it's Rahul Dravid, Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, VVS Lakshman, Sunil Gavaskar, and Cheteshwar Pujara.
Wow.
And while we are waiting, if people didn't know, of late there's some exposure to the racism in cricket that happened in the last few months, especially this year, especially with all the BLM and the taking the knee and everything. Jason Holder came out, Darren Sammy came out, and then there were some Pakistani cricketers from Yorkshire that came out and said Yorkshire is one of the most racist county clubs in England. And they went on to say that when they cannot pronounce the names of players who are not from England, especially the subcontinent people like Indians or Sri Lankans or Pakistanis, they would just call them Steve. If you guys were aware. So they would just say Steve, like, Cheteshwar, now this is too hard. Let's just call you Steve. Right. So it actually came up yesterday. If you guys were listening to the commentary, it was so silly because I don't know if it was in jest or if they probably they were not. I cannot believe that they were not aware of that part, right. But they were just making fun of it. Kerry O'Keefe, who is known for those kind of things.
Right.
If you guys remember Mayank Agarwal and the railway canteen remark that he made a couple of years back, we'll get to that some other day. But Kerry O'Keefe, Shane Warne, and one more commentator, they were saying that, Cheteshwar Pujara played for Yorkshire, and Cheteshwar, it was so hard, they just called him Steve. But they did not realize, or maybe they chose to ignore the fact that it was actually a racist connotation to calling someone Steve in Yorkshire.
Right.
So anyway, all right, the results are out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So bulk of people have put, let's start with Kohli. So the extreme, some people have called him first and some people have called it sixth. So what do you say? Go for it, Kashyap. This is yours.
Okay. So the highest number of hundreds in Australia is by Tendulkar at six centuries by Sachin. Next there's a tie between Kohli and Gavaskar, who both scored 5.
Okay.
And then it's 3 by Pujara, and just one each by Dravid and Lakshman. So that double hundred in Adelaide, that special double hundred by Dravid,
There's
was
only
the
100, huh?
only century he scored in Australia.
Wow, I didn't
So
know that.
if you take that out, he actually has, I think he averages like 30s against Australia in Australia, and probably close to 40 if you take in India as well, because even in India, that 180 that he scored with Lakshman's 281 and maybe one more. So he only has like 200 or 300s against Australia out of 15 tests or something he played with. So
Interesting, right? He's the one player who's scored in all test playing countries.
All test playing countries, yeah.
He scored 100 in all test playing countries,
Yeah.
but has the only this many against Australia. So
Pujara has 3. Pujara has
Sachin goes
3,
first.
and Sachin has scored 100 in every visit, every test series he played against Australia.
But he got only the Sydney one last time, right? He had never had 100 in Sydney.
Yeah.
He ended up with the Sydney,
Yeah. So looks like the way we have voted versus results are very strange. So Sachin comes first, then comes Kohli and Gavaskar, and then comes Pujara, and then comes Dravid and Lakshman.
Wow.
The Lakshman one is really interesting, right? Because he is known as, like, everyone talks about when they talk Lakshman that his favorite opponent was Australia, right? So he's known as, like, beating Australia and thrashing them around, but he only has 1 century in Australia. It seems like all the other ones that have come have been outside, meaning at home in India, which is very interesting. It's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
so that was the last question.
That was the last question, so I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you guys for participating.
Okay.
It's really nice, Vinny.
Yeah.
You make it a lot more interesting. Thank you for that.
No problem. Yeah. It was a last minute thought around 4 o'clock. Kashyap and myself synced up, and we just said, "Why don't we do this?"
Beautiful. Make it something like this, which is
make it more interactive, so that the audience can also jump in and please leave comments if you have any other trivia that you guys want us to talk about or any other incidents. Go ahead and do that. And so on that note, I think we have 2 minutes before the game starts.
They're coming out of the field,
what do you guys think will happen in the first session?
Yes, first session. So what's going to be the India's first inning score?
300.
282.
No.
I'm going to be a bit lavish. 320.
I think I'm the only man. I'm on the other side. I'm looking at like 265 all out.
Wow.
But
I have faith in the tail wagging. I have faith in
I know, but don't lose faith, because I'm saying 265, but Australia will not cross 300.
But oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just to let you know, innu 9 over agide, second new ball. The ball is still new. So just an FYI.
But on the book, Australia team has a better lineup. Until Green, they have very good batsmen.
Yeah.
And there is because there was so much hype about Green, I went and saw his previous battings and stuff. He's a talented guy. I think he's a very long future.
I know. After what Sam Curran did to us, and then Kyle Jamieson in New Zealand, I wouldn't be surprised if an all-rounder who debuts in a home series against India, becoming the man of the series, to continue the tradition. You never know. Cameron Green could be that.
Yeah, because these are very interesting traditions, right? Cameron Green is one. This guy is one tradition, and
Sam Curran.
I loved the David Fleming's letter, right?
Yeah.
So that was he has a single club for himself, hat-trick on debut.
He's the president, secretary, treasurer, and everything else.
That was a backhanded pat to himself that he wanted to.
Man, this is the best part, right? I'm really loving this healthy camaraderie between Australia and India, because a lot of good things are coming out of it. I don't want it to go down. Probably I can show my anger and come and say, if India gets out by 260, I can come and belt Kashyap. But on the field, I don't want to show any anger to these guys, because they are playing like true sportsmen now.
I think the IPL changed everything totally. I mean, I think they all play together. I think that changed quite a bit. probably not only India, Australia, probably anybody plays anybody. They have all played together with the same team in IPL somewhere.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the equation is that once you get people to meet with your families, for
Out
example, yeah,
yeah, Cummins got him out.
Saha's out.
Yeah,
Sahala.
Ashwin, Sahala.
Okay, yeah. So the thing I'm trying to say is that these people, because of IPL, they meet with families, right? So once you have met with families, your level of respect for mutual peer, like for each of you grows up, right? Like, if you go, just look at TikTok, right? Warner and family have a
my goodness.
So they have a big dance sequence of all Indian songs.
All the Telugu songs mainly.
Right.
Yeah, Hyderabad is completely owning them up, So I think, and Shikhar Dhawan's second home is Australia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard. He got married to the girlfriend in Australia, right?
Citizen.
Yeah.
And,
AVD has more fans in Bangalore than anywhere else, it feels like.
Oh
so.
yeah.
That's a statistical skew, just by population.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I think we should call it for the day, or?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, and I just want to comment on this Ashwin's this thing. Look at that. Outside the off stump, just moving slightly away, nicked it. I think that is what's happening. I think that's still, there's a danger for Indian batsmen. So
Bumrah,
yesterday he didn't
Bumrah
catch.
Chami.
Yeah. So
Hopefully
we'll
they
see.
can capitalize.
Hey, great one, Appa. Let's do this more. Like not more often, but something like this interactive that catches everybody.
Yeah, I think there were some glitches for people to get used to it. So I think once they get used to it, it'll be easy.
No, that was poor footwork as well from Ashwin.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he locked himself.
So I think we're on the radio. We should end it up.
Yes. Okay.
All
right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening, and keep encouraging. Thank you, of course, Sridhar Rajanna, for
as always
making this happen. As always, and see you all next week again, and go enjoy.
We can talk about the entire test next week.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
We'll have more scapegoats and heroes. All right. Bye.